This is the plaintiff, Ricardo Torres. He says he rented a room from the defendant and she's discriminating against him because she said she didn't like his friends. She said he had to get 30 days to move out. She told him she wasn't giving him his security back, and he's suing her for the $650 he's most definitely owed. This is the defendant, Karen Reyes. She says the plaintiff moved out of his own volition. And quite frankly, she was happy when he told her he was leaving. He smoked a lot of pot in the room with his friends. He left a trail of damages, gave her no notice, and she owes this dude nothing but a good riddance. She's accused of not being fair.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. Plaintiff says that his landlord had it out for him because he didn't like his friend. But the defendant says the plaintiff and his friend smoked lots of pot and damaged the place. It's the case of smoking up the joint.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Ricardo Torres, you are suing Karen Reyes for $650, the amount of your security deposit that you are saying she is wrongfully withholding. What happened?
Around the month of September, I was looking to acquire a room, and I was hanging out with one of my friends, which so happens to be her neighbor, and I see her bringing out the sign that says "room for rent." So I asked my friend if he knew Karen, and he said yes, that he would let her know that I was interested in the room.
Okay, so you're interested and you decide you're paying $450, and then what happens that you start paying $650?
I acquired, she had a bigger room in the same apartment.
Okay, so then you're there for how long before the problem begins?
I was there for about 7 months.
Okay, now at some point you decide to leave, which is what month?
March 30th, I moved out.
Okay. Now, when you leave, you tell her when that, look, I'm not staying.
I told her about 2 weeks prior to that because...
And then she got mad because she felt like it wasn't enough notice?
Yes.
All right. Do you have a lease?
My lease is under my name.
Oh, do you have a lease with him is what I meant?
No.
Because
We
you're a
didn't make a lease.
landlord to him.
Yes, we didn't
Right.
make a lease because he was just renting a room at that time.
Right, I understand. But when you say, your feeling is he gave me no notice, correct?
He gave me,
okay, how much
actually,
notice do you say he has to give you?
30 days. He gave
Says
me a
who?
week.
Says
It
where?
was
You don't
one
have a
of
lease. What are you talking
It
about?
was one of the agreements when he rented the room.
Verbal.
It was an agreement,
Stop and listen. A verbal agreement or a written agreement?
a verbal agreement.
Okay. Did you agree with her verbally that you would give her 30 days notice before leaving?
No.
Okay, now you have a problem with that. See, when there is no lease, written lease, there's still a lease. You can have a verbal lease, but the law fixes what the terms are, not you. If you want terms outside of that, then you have to get them in writing and get both sides to sign it. The law where you're from in the Bronx, he doesn't have to give you 30 days notice. I don't get it, but that's how it is. So, yeah, if you want 30 days notice, it better be in writing somewhere. Is it in writing anywhere? In an email, a text, anything?
No.
No. All right. But according to you, there's more. When he leaves, he ends up leaving the place damaged. Mm-hmm. Was he a good tenant while he lived there?
No, I actually had to always let him know the rent was due on the 1st. That was one thing that was verbally said, that was agreed on. Rent was always due the 1st. It would be the 1st. It would be the morning. I had to ask him in the afternoon because I have to give the rent to the owner.
So when you say he would pay late, you mean late on the 1st?
Late on the 1st, sometimes the 2nd.
Okay. Were there any other problems?
He used to smoke around the house. He used to do spray paint in the house.
Wait, he used to smoke
in the
cigarettes?
House. No,
Marijuana?
Yes.
Okay. Did you tell him to stop?
I told him that was one of the number one rules because I knew he was smoking, and that was one of the number one rules I told him. No smoking allowed in the house because I have a 3-year-old asthmatic child. That was one of the rules. He said, fine, not a problem.
So why didn't you get rid of him when he was violating it?
I was waiting.
Why would you put your asthmatic child in that position?
To be completely honest, overall, even though that was that one little problem, he told me he didn't smoke in the house. I was never around the house, to be honest. I was always working and in school.
What about your kid?
He was in school.
Okay.
So it was only basically the nights when we would be home. Past
Well, that's
6.
every night when you're home? Your kid can't breathe?
No, not every night he couldn't breathe. Obviously, he had his asthma machine. But
He has to wear a machine because this guy's smoking in the house? Why don't you just get rid of him?
I was trying to tell him, I asked him nicely, no
All right,
smoking.
so now, but according to you, he damaged the place.
Yes.
All
There
right,
was holes.
let me see the pictures of the damage.
Everything has been fixed. I don't have any pictures. Everything was fixed.
So can a landlord get on a tenant's case in 2017 for smoking pot?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, well, so, what if it's legal in California to smoke pot or New York to smoke pot? Can a landlord say, hey, you know what, you're out of here if you keep doing it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's his property, so he's a landlord for a reason, right?
Should a landlord be able to distinguish between marijuana and cigarettes?
Yes, both.
No, but can the landlord say you can smoke cigarettes, but you can't smoke pot?
Yes.
Even if it's legal in the state?
Yes.
Really?
And I think that landlord would not want cigarettes smoked in his place either.
Okay, well, she'll narc you out, just so you know. She will narc you out going inside the courtroom.
You understand what a security deposit is,
Yes,
right?
I understand. The security deposit is for any damages done to the place.
And now he wants the security deposit back. You now find out there's no notice requirement. I'm telling you, you need to prove to me $650 worth of damage, and your answer to me is, I don't have any pictures. Do you have a telephone?
I have a telephone.
And it takes pictures, right?
Yes.
It's not just for nasty pictures. It's also for evidence. So if you're going to be if you're going to put your big girl panties on and rent places out and take legal positions and stuff like that, you got to be able to prove it. How are you going to prove to me that there's $650 worth of damage? What was the damage?
The damage was spray paint on the floors.
Wait, stop. Walls.
Holes.
What was on the walls?
Holes on the walls.
How many holes on the walls?
He had a TV up on the wall. It was about 1, 2, 6 holes.
Okay. Did you have a TV up on the wall?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So 6. Did you close the holes before you left?
Yes, I did.
Do you have proof of that? Because most people don't.
No, I
okay?
don't.
So I'm not buying that you close. I'm kind of, I'm having a little bit of trouble with that.
I patched up the holes in the wall, and I asked her to look at it, and she said everything was fine.
For real?
Yeah.
Did you take a picture of it?
No, I did not.
Well, that would have been a good idea too. Did you see him patch up, and it's just the patch-up job wasn't good?
It wasn't actually done at all. It was just a little thing, and that's it.
What's a little thing? Patch?
A little bit of
patch?
A little bit of compound. And that was it. And
I
there was more.
apologize.
And there was more holes to that because he had on frames up around the room.
What else?
Spray paint on the floor.
How was there spray paint on the floor?
He used to spray paint inside the house.
So where was the spray paint on the floor? On carpet, on wood?
No, it's a ceramic floor.
So it wouldn't come out?
No, I tried liquids. I did everything. It doesn't come out.
So then it's still there now?
It's still there now.
So let me see the pictures.
Right now the room is rented, so I'm not allowed to be in that room.
Lady, do me a favor. Pay the man his $650 and learn how to be a landlord. Because somebody kept your $650 on the flimsy evidence that you're not providing, okay? You be angry. $650 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Well, the plaintiff prevails. He gets his $650, Ms. Reyes. I think you learned a little bit about what else you can use a telephone for. What's up? Smartphone, put it that way.
To be honest, it wasn't fair.
What wasn't fair?
It wasn't fair, the trial.
She needed proof.
I know that, but you have to understand something. After he left, I fixed the room.
Yeah, but
it was a
you
matter
didn't
of
give her
time.
any proof.
I know.
You know,
it was a matter of
it's
time.
not, can't say it's not fair. It is fair. You couldn't prove your point. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is in court, okay? You must sign some documents. Sorry about that. Mr. Torres is on his way out of the courtroom. So where are you now? You're not there, right?
No, I actually live right next door.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All righty. Thank you very much. You two must sign some documents. And there you are, Harvey.
Okay, you should know this is a little bit of a weird case, but in most cities and states, if there's no lease, the tenant has to give 30 days notice before leaving if the tenant wants to protect the security deposit.